What? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, evening, afternoon, nighttime. One sec while I set things up. I was a little bit late to my computer today. Okay, let's see. Okay, I think for today I should I should do my 1 hour drawing on stream maybe, because I might not have time later today. But I also want to do other things. Mm-mm. So we'll see, we'll see. I did say last week I wanted to work on the VTuber model more, but I'm feeling a little lazy again. So it might be a next week again thing. Oh, dear settings, how you doing? Fi, hello, hello. I'm good. I'm good. How are you? How are you? Your notification will wake me up. No, no, go back to sleep. Go back to sleep. Get your rest. Yeah, today's stream is a little bit earlier because I have a meeting thingy I have to be at later. But um I figured it was better to just reschedule it than to cancel it. So it's like whatever. Doing okay, just in the render swamp. Ah, good luck, good luck. You can do it. You can do it. Sorry, moving my mic. Okay, okay. Hopefully this works better. Okay. uh, do some. I'm just gonna do some doodling for now, just to warm up. Let's see. I think I've been sleeping a lot, probably more than 24 hours in the past 3 days. Ah, no, that's good though. That's a good thing. I think everyone deserves like a week, if possible, where you can just sleep as much as you want or as much as you need, then get all your rest, and then you can come back super refreshed. Obviously, it's not always possible. I think when it is possible, it's pretty awesome. As well, the daily 1 hour drawings have been really cool to look at. Thank you, thank you. I started getting a little bit scared of them, I think, in the last few days. I'm not totally sure why. Like at the start, when I was just doing the portraits, well, I guess I do know why, but when I was just doing the portraits, it mostly just felt fun or like it was a sketch, right? But for some reason the last couple of days I felt more intimidated by it. Maybe because uh like there have been more backgrounds or like more colorful stuff, which is hard for me. Or maybe because since Hechi's also doing the 1 hour, some days we pick a theme and then like we both agree on it. So it's not like I don't want to draw it, but in the moment I'm like, oh man, like how do I draw this right now? Right. So it gets slightly harder, but usually it's like fun hard. Or the last few days I got a little intimidated. I like yay, but I think hey is better. Okay, shall we change it to hey? Hey. Okay. Perfect, perfect. Our status. Also, I have a bone to pick with you. Why did you kill Sarah? I literally just MIA for a bit. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, it wasn't me who killed Sarah, okay? It was the 1 hour challenge that killed Sarah. Obviously. The speed paint for that one was kind of a doozy. That is that the word? I forgot. But I wanted to draw Uma Musume. I've been playing it recently, but I didn't like the way it was looking with the Uma Musume, so I ended up just I don't know, like the theme that day was like snow and ice and cold stuff, and I'm not gonna lie, there's like not a lot of ice and snow and cold stuff in Uma Musume. It's mostly summertime and running on the track and sports and horses, right? So I think it didn't really match, and then that was just a struggle. And so I drew like three different pieces for the first 30 minutes, and then I was like, never mind, guys, no more Uma Musume. So then I just started drawing whatever the hell, because at that point I was so defeated. I was like, I need to convey my feelings. So I was like, okay, I'll just draw Sarah lying down on the snow because she's tired. She doesn't want to do the challenge anymore, right? And then that turned into her dying because she was lying down, and I was like, there's not enough there's not enough spice in this piece. So unfortunately she died. But I promise I will bring her back to life. So don't worry. She will come back. Just saw the time lapse. Don't look too hard, okay? Don't look too hard. I actually Oh, hi Hachi. I actually liked the some of the poses that I started for that one, but I think dynamic or like motion poses are hard for me. And so I was super intimidated by them and I didn't finish it because I was like, I'm not sure if I can do a running pose in 1 hour and make it look clear. Because I think there's often a phase uh between the sketch phase and the render phase where like it looks really messy or like unclear. Um and I think like you could kind of tell what was going on during the sketch phase, but I can't really reach the render phase that fast within 1 hour. So I was like, I think if I go with the running pose, it might be really hard for me to make it look like she's running and it's not just like a blob. I have no idea what I'm drawing, by the way. I think it's slowly turning into Sarah again, but that's how she was created after all, just from doodling. Also, I need to start making the reels that I said I wanted to make with the challenge time lapses. I was originally gonna do like watch me draw for 1 hour for 10 days, but then I didn't make that, and now we're on day like almost 20. And then there was like what else was there? Like watch me get better at 1 hour whatever stuff. Yeah, but I also didn't make that because I was like, I don't know if I like got that much better, but at least I'm doing it. Oh, what powers Sarah had? Uh, I'm not sure if she had powers. I know originally she was just a cannibal. Um, and then at some point it wasn't really a power, I guess, but she used to be like really good with training creatures because at some point the story used to have a lot of like magical creatures, and so she was really good at like taming them and everything like that. She never really had her own powers though. Because let's see, the story used to have the magic fighting arc and then the magic mafia arc. But Sarah didn't exist at that time when I had that version of the story. She happened like right after. What? Hello, Vanny G11. I know that one. Hello, hello. How have you been? We haven't spoken in so long. What? Duel. How do I do this? Accept. Accept. Okay. Okay, we fight. We fight. Violence. What? What? Murder, murder. What? No, Hachi. Wait, that's so sad. I can't believe it makes a sad face and then it explodes. So sad. GG, GG. Ah, I could also work on doing the Fidget stream avatar today. Maybe I should do that. Wow, it's so hot. Or it's not that hot right now, but it's like the weird temperature where you feel like you want to turn on the fan or the AC, but then when you turn it on, even at the lowest setting, it gets too cold. But it's also like not a comfortable temperature. Okay, I'll turn on the fan. It's too hot. No, don't blow out the mic. Okay, there we go. I hope it's not making wind sounds. Okay, random doodle. Okay, it is blowing into the mic. No, don't do that. I was like, why is the PNG tuber randomly opening her mouth? Bird, bird, yes, bird. Maybe maybe I should make a toggle for this PNG tuber where everything except the bird like turns off, so then it's just the bird. Ah, okay, I don't have a whole lot of ideas today, but that's okay. Government spy, it's true, it's true. The bird. Ah, let me see what drafts I have. I don't feel like starting anything new. But I also don't know what to work on. Let me see. Let me see what I've sketched recently. Um, I haven't sketched a whole lot. Uh, what is this? No, not that one. I gotta keep working on the red eye, the render or not the render, the clean line art one. I'm like kind of scared of that one. Let me see. Ah, Suarez. I gotta keep working on the Fiamos from like 3 months ago. Oh, it was so long ago. Okay. Um, Fiamos, Fiamos. I do have to finish that one, but I guess. What, Mike Hi-Fi? Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Oh, what is that? A tiny raccoon? So cute. Okay, you know what? Here's a Sarah draft that I started a long time ago. Maybe I'll draw this one a little bit. We'll work on it a little bit. Let me merge these. It's been so long since I worked on it that it doesn't even matter anymore what the layers are. Let me see. Draft. These ones can all go in here. Wow, it looks so cool. Thank you, thank you. Oh, and Jesse Montloop, thank you for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Composition. I know, I know. I really like the way the composition looks, but this was the original sketch. I was like, okay, I think I want there to be something bright in the background. And Jason in the corner. Uh, let's see. Speaking of composition, yesterday, at like 2 a.m., I know I should have been asleep, but I wasn't asleep. But at like 2 a.m., I wrote like nothing serious, but I wrote like a tiny little like silly art skill tier list. Stuff that I think is the most helpful and useful versus like less helpful and useful. Also, I only spent 30 seconds writing it, so it's not very detailed. But I think here, let me see. I wrote that in S tier, there's composition, value, and shapes, and then A tier are color relativity, contrast, and gesture, and then B are texture, anatomy, perspective, and I wrote stroke efficiency, and then in C I wrote line art, which is a little sad because I think line art is super cool. I just don't like doing it. But yes, composition I think is like an S tier art skill, and I think I want to get a lot better at it. Line art GG, no no. It's only C tier when I'm doing it. You know. Like when everyone else does it, it's S tier. It's S tier. Unfollow, no. Uh, Look, I swear I'm not a line art hater. I just don't like doing it myself. But I like looking at line art. I promise. I promise. Imagine being good at composition. No, I feel like composition's one of those things where like there's technically ways to study it, but it's so hard to put into words sometimes. Like you can, but it's not easy. Hold on, can I merge this please? Merge. Okay, now this can go in here. Okay, now how the hell do I continue this drawing? I made it so complicated for no reason. It's okay. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I'll just start doing stuff, I guess. Our TikTok isn't gonna like that list. Is our TikTok like really particular about like what skills are important? See, this is why I'm really scared of TikTok. Because I feel like you can't say anything without getting like publicly like stoned on TikTok. I haven't made an account because I just feel like it takes the fun out of sharing art. Because you have to be like, oh, like TikTok's gonna judge me and I have to be like morally correct with my art like preferences, which okay, that sounds kind of strange as a sentence. But I mean in the way of like you're supposed to think anatomy is better than like I don't know, like gesture or something. I just want to draw and enjoy drawing. Composition 1, shapes 2, values 3, color 4 for me. Yeah, color. I don't know if I put it on there. I put color relativity, but I didn't put color on my list. I should make a better tier list sometime. I feel like composition is a natural instinct a lot of the time. You unintentionally do things out of habit or what you observed. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I think it's definitely something you have to build up as opposed to like just studying. Because you can study composition, I think, but like obviously it'll still help if you study it or study the compositions of different art pieces that you like and figure out why you like them. But I also think that it's hard to come up with like really interesting original compositions if whoa, wait. Where did what? Hold on. Where did my layers go? Duplicate this, please. Okay. What? What is it doing? Just merge. No. Oh my god. What? Sorry, hold on. What is it doing? Okay, here we go. Merge. Merge. Hello? Clip Studio. Okay, there we go. I just wanted to be able to check it. Okay, there we go. But yeah, I think it's hard to come up with interesting original compositions if you only study, if you know what I mean. Like you gotta kind of just draw for a long time and then you'll get a sense for what's cool. If you just study it, then you can replicate other people's compositions, but I feel like the fun with composition is that you can find the best way to represent your own idea. I've seen his bizarre world over there on TikTok, but the Arctics community is nice. Let's go. Arctics community always on top. What can I say? Might be a hot take, but I think as an illustrator, gesture barely play a big part. But as an animator, it's a huge part. I don't know if you feel me on this one. I also feel that way sometimes, but I think it depends on what kind of illustration you're doing. Because if you're doing something more realistic or more like, what do you call it? Like more static, less dynamic looking, I think anatomy is a little more important. But I think oftentimes gesture with stylized art is more important. It like depends on the degree of stylization, but I think if you have a very stylized art style, uh, you don't like you should know anatomy, but you can kind of as long as you can convey like the vibe with the gesture, then you can add in the anatomy like after, right? But the vibe is really important with stylized uh like artwork. Or it's more like even if you're using proper anatomy, I think if you're in the sketch phase and you can get the gesture down really fast and really well, it makes it a lot easier to add the proper anatomy after. Because you could draw something like super anatomically accurate, but if you're unable to draw like a very flowy pose in gesture, then it'll still feel really stiff, even if you have all the anatomy correct, if that makes sense. Because I think as long as there's a vibe that you want to show, it's better to be able to do gesture. At least that's how it is for me. Extend my composition. Whoa, oh my god. Okay, hold on. Let me catch up. Let me catch up. Extend my composition strat. As long as the focal point, usually the face for me popping, then I'm good. Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think that's definitely the easiest way to go about it. For me, I try to think about the face, like you said, and then also just the overall silhouette of the character. Like if I want them to be to the silhouette to be really clear, then I try and show it. Or sometimes if the mood is better, if it's like a little bit dim, then I try to make sure not too much of it is showing. You know. It all depends on the purpose of the drawing, I think. There's more give with stylus for sure, as long as everything looks cohesive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Gestures to express something. The more you want to express, the more relevant gesture will be, I think. Yeah, yeah. I think so too. I think so too. Like I think it's accuracy versus feeling, I think is where you have to balance gesture and like anatomy. So it all depends on what the intent of your piece is. I think there's only so many pose you use in illustration in general. You maybe use the same pose, but be slightly different angle. As an animator, I feel you might be able to draw those deformed human weird angle pose and such to be able to make a character move. Mm, I think that's true. I think that's true, but I guess it kind of ties into composition. But I think you can express the same pose with different shapes, if that makes sense. Like you can draw the same pose but make it feel different based on how exactly you like represent it. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think it's still possible to draw the same pose with different feeling, basically. Also, don't get me wrong, it does help you doing gesture, but I think it's not as important as other things on the list. That's true, that's true. I guess it's like I also see those skills applied to things outside of just like full illustration. I think for the sake of like freedom as an artist, or just like when you're sketching, right? At least for me, I sketch a lot in my sketchbook. Uh, I think always focusing a lot on the accuracy of things makes art really unfun sometimes. So I think outside of just purely like finishing illustrations, and doing like fully rendered pieces and everything, I think gesture adds to your like just ability to express what you want more quickly. And I think that's really important for not getting stuck, especially when you're sketching. And that's not to say I'm good at gesture, you know. My gesture is pretty bad, but I think it's easier or more fun to be able to draw the feeling that you want more quickly when it comes to sketching and just like enjoying art. So obviously, like that also implies that I don't really enjoy render. I do enjoy full render sometimes, but it can't be all the time. Like I have to draw not full render sometimes. What, Dark Sir? Thank you for the sub. 8 months, so crazy. Ah, I'm scared. 4 months. 4 months until 1 year. That's so scary. It went so fast. I feel like it hasn't been that long. You can make things angular and make them flowy. Yeah, 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 yeah. Maybe this is just me being biased because I don't study. Maybe. But I don't know. I think sometimes it's less about studying, more just about like how often you draw or like what you do in your free time. I'd say I only started sketching more in the last like 2 years. Because pretty much my whole life, I've always brought my sketchbook with me wherever I go, but I didn't use it as much. Like, it would always be in my bag, but I don't really take it out. But in the last 2 years, I think I've wanted to, since I've been focusing more on doing art, like not full time, but more full time, I don't want to get rusty between work days. So at first, it was just to make sure I didn't get rusty. But then over time, it kind of just became a habit, and now I enjoy it. So I don't like drawing noses. I don't like drawing noses. Maybe I should do a sketchbook tour sometime. My favorite sketchbook is still one of the ones from 2 years ago though. I think that sketchbook was super peak, and my recent sketchbooks have been less peak. But I think that one was different because at the time I have I talked about this before? I feel like I have. But either way, at the time my schedule always had like a weird gap in the middle of the day where it wasn't enough time to like go back home and get work done, but it also wasn't really enough time to just like do nothing and wait. So every day I would get my lunch and then I would sit there for like 1.5 hours or like 2 hours and just draw and not think about it at all. And for some reason it was so good. I think it's because it became such a normal part of my routine that it was really easy to get into the right like state, the right thinking, the right feeling for drawing at that time of day every day. Now I still draw every day, but it's kind of at a different time every day, and sometimes it's on different days of the week and different parts of my schedule, and so it's harder to get into the zone. I don't like the nose. It's a little too tall. Oops. Upside down. Okay. Jump. Bruh. You guys want an event? Should we do um a boss fight or a battle royale or basketball? Oh, I flipped it and I forgot what line I was drawing. Okay, this one. Sweet, in your summer, my ad block broke again. Hold on. No. I'm a fan of boss fights. Okay, okay. Hold on, how do I do this again? Boss fight. No. Boss. I forgot the command. Okay, I got it. I got it. Okay. I will not be joining, but please feel free to join the boss battle. See, wait, what? I think I just heard basketball battle royale. It's it's a feature of the Stream Avatars app. The thing that's making all the little eyeballs. Uh we can like fight and do boss battles and whatnot. But there's a basketball mini game and a battle royale mini game. But I think I said them back to back. A basketball battle royale would be pretty crazy. Ugh, not nope. I don't like it. What, Sir Crackwaffle? Thank you for the follow. Mm-mm-mm. A little funny looking. I think I liked when the white smudge was covering more of her nose, but I also don't think it makes sense in the lighting. Your 1 hour drawings have been gracing my day every day. Thank you, streamer. Thank you, thank you. Hello, Ty. How have you been? How have you been? I'm gonna put stream in the background, go back to eating. This headache is killing me. Yes, go rest, Yellow. It's okay, it's okay. Thank you for stopping by. I hope it goes away soon. Good, but gameful employment kicks my butt. I just want to come home and draw something. You're my number one inspo boss. Thank you, thank you. I'm glad I can inspire you. But you can do that. You can do it. Gotta stay on the grind. I believe in you. This line is too sharp. Uh. Be up a little more. Uh, okay, okay. And then go eyeball army. Well, Darkseid's got some stars flying off of him. You see it for a second? By the way, if the music ever plays an ad today and I don't seem to be skipping it, it's because I don't have my earbuds in. I have it like really quiet on a speaker, but I can't hear it super well. So there's a chance that if an ad plays, I will not know. Okay, I think that looks okay. Mm, hold on. This is not wide enough. I'm not sure if it's an ad or the entire movie. Whoopsies, whoopsie. See, I think this value, the shadow should be a little darker. Otherwise, the head is not quite round enough. Like this. Mm. Ah, I'm scared of the hair again. It's funny how I was like, I don't want to work on the Sarah model because I don't want to look at it. And then I started drawing Sarah anyways. I could just be working on the model right now. Can I queue up fight commands? I'm not sure. I think if you type them early, I think it won't like react, unfortunately. Mm, don't like this smudge. It was better without this smudge. Oh, her goggles. I need to draw her goggles. Let's see on the hat. Mm-hmm. Feathers, feathers. Feathers are hard too. Oh, no, no. Got one shot. Boss too strong. wonder if there's a way to make like an easier boss. I feel like we've done boss fight twice or whatever, and people keep dying, which I guess is fine. But I also feel like it shouldn't be too hard. Is the music loud, by the way? It's kind of loud, isn't it? Hold on. Be quieter. Okay. Sorry. I didn't see how high the mixer thingy was. Mm, okay, let's see. What did I draw here? Uh, I need to fix the shape of her cape. I think technically this is the first proper illustration I've done of my OCs. You could count the Halloween one from last year, but I think that one's less ambitious. I also don't know if I'm gonna be able to render the bird in the background. I haven't really. Oh my god, add. Okay. No, I don't need a bug trap. Why? Why does ad block break every other day? No, no Paramount Plus originals. I don't want 10 new adventures. What do you do with gold? There's I think you can gamble and just to get more gold. Or I think uh there should be like an item shop, but I haven't added any items just yet. But once I do, you'll be able to buy like accessories for your avatars. Let Mm, I think with this one, I want the hand to kind of pop out more. But if I don't get the contrast right, then it won't show up very well. So let's see. What MVQ? MVQ SVR. Thank you for the follow. Let me see. I drew this funky shape for the for the cape for the shoulder thingies in the draft, but I don't really know what the shape is supposed to be. I guess I guess it's like this. But then there's like this big blob here. Mm. See, Sarah got so much aura there. I know she's kind of aura farming in this one. Being all edgy and cool. Mm. This way? Ah, I need to do so much studying. You know what? Maybe I'll just put this highlight thingy back and then I'll figure out what it is a little later. I don't like it. Absolute Sarah. Absolute Cinemara? Absolute Saranama? Finema. There you go. Absolute Finema. You know, I think at first I thought Oro farming as a concept was a little funny, but I realized it's kind of it is kind of a good way to describe certain vibes. Oh, EA Unknown, thank you for the follow. Like honestly, I guess a lot of my drawings just feature characters Oro farming, but I wouldn't have put it that way like 3 months ago. Okay, let's see. I want to avoid having this corner of the hand here hit the edge of the cape, but I think the cape should go there. Hmm. A little bit of a dilemma. Let's see. Okay, maybe maybe I'll figure that part out a little bit later. Still, nothing beats Fidgeon aura farming. This is true. Fidgeon has the ultimate aura. The ad was in Spanish. Crazy. Wait, it was in Spanish? I didn't even hear it. Maybe because the internet's always spying on us and it's detected more Spanish messages from the server on my computer recently and it was like, Fi is learning Spanish. We need to expose Fi to Spanish. Only Fi can jump from Japanese ad to Spanish ad. Wait, was it really Japanese and then Spanish? Oh, crazy, crazy, crazy. Ryan96, thank you for the follow. Wow, was this follower goal? Ah, thank you, Tori Keto. Wow, we got it. Yippee. 260. Wow, so exciting. Should I do something cool for 300? I don't know what people usually do to celebrate Twitch followers. Oh, and I won 5 from the jump catch game. I didn't even jump though. Free stars, free stars. Mm. 300 Fi graduate. Yeah, I'll graduate right before my debut. When we reach 300, my streaming career ends. No more Fi, no more Sarah, no more Fidget, no more Jason. Just an empty, empty void where I once streamed. That time you reincarnated as a pigeon. You know, there's that one theory somewhere out there. I think Kurzgesagt, the channel that talks about all those like science and philosophy theories and whatnot. I think they talked about it once, but there's that one theory I think called the egg. I might be mixing up the name with a different one, but anyways, the whole premise is that everybody, let's see, the the cycle of life and death. It's not like one time, right? Every time you live, you're just reincarnated as a different living creature in the universe, right? So that means you have to reincarnate as everything at some point. So every time you're talking to someone or looking at like a different living creature, you're actually just looking at yourself from a different cycle, like a different part of the cycle. And then once you've successfully lived as every single living thing that ever existed and ever will exist, that's when you ascend to like the next level of existence. You become like a god. But not a god in like the overpowered way, more in like the I understand the universe way. I think it's quite the interesting theory. It also makes me happy because that means I've definitely lived as at least like 3 billion different pigeons before. What cool art style and OC. Thank you so much. Myself as being a terrible boss. No, no. What is that? Oh, it's the bird's mouth. I was like, what is this thing? I love not knowing what's going on in my own sketches. Though granted this one was sketched like several months ago, so I really don't remember. Mm, Gotcha gods. I love gotcha. I love gambling. So wonderful. Just kidding. Don't gamble. Don't gamble. You can gotcha a little, but don't empty your wallets. It's dangerous once you get started. Fi has been every Fijin and will be. Exactly. Exactly. I felt silence Suzuka on Uma Musume. Let's go. Let's go. You know, the other day I mentioned how I really like the design of Narita Brian, but I realized that I'm not sure if she's even in the game as like a trainable Uma Musume, which makes me sad because I think she looks really cool. I was like, oh, I'll just train her when I unlock her, but I don't know if she's unlockable. Stuck in NPC jail forever. So sad. Mm. Yeah, not like you need to gamble after getting you of 10 pulls. Look, it was 20 pulls, okay? No, I got pretty lucky though. I'm very happy. Though I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this happens often when, or not often, but it happens more when I'm planning to not actually pull for the character. Like if I want the character, then I'm definitely not getting them, basically. But if I don't want the character, they're like, hey, you know, I know I'm unwanted, but I thought I'd show up anyway, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess. Because that's kind of what happened with what do you call it? Hold on, why am I forgetting? Let me open Arcane. But for example, Evan Holtz hates me. I still haven't gotten him after all this time. I really want him. And then, oh my god, load Arknights, load, and stuff like that. And then like with you, I was low-key not gonna pull for you. I know he's limited and he's like a sweet sibling. Everyone's like, you need to get the sweet siblings because they're limited and they're super cool and they're dragons and everything like that. But I was gonna just pull the free pull and then skip him. But then I was like, eh, whatever. I only have like 10 more pulls anyway. I might as well just use them. And then he showed up just to spite me. I was like, I don't want you. He was like, yes, you do. Oh my god, what am I doing? See, sleeve, sleeve, sleeve. How do I draw a sleeve? Her forearm is a little bit too long. To like here. Let's see, I'm gonna get going. Just stopping by really quick after running the train. See you all later. Okay, see you, see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hope work goes well. Let's see. I guess being sleep deprived is my key to getting good pull. Every person I know that wants Evan Holtz doesn't get him, and there he is getting dust in my account because I don't like the brat. No, that's what I'm saying. Like all my friends who don't like him have him, or they have like multiple of him, and I'm like, why? Why Evan Holtz? He is a brat though. What is this? Oh, okay. This is by the guy who sang that one song that got really popular. Um, was it something about the end of the world? Something something as the world caves in. Yeah, that one, that one. Yeah, gouache brush. It sounds like a dessert. Is gouache a dessert? Is not a dessert, but I feel like it should be. Oh, Snooky, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Mm, let's see. This lantern is kind of at a funny angle. I think if it was a little more, hold on, like this way. No, hold on. This way, I think would be fine. Hoa Mary, thank you for the follow. Wow, I love your art. Thank you so much. Thank you. Well, high five. Hello, babe. Hello, hello. Okay, I think that's a little better. How do I usually draw her lantern though? Wait, hold on. Um, I don't know what it usually looks like, even though she's my OC. Um, I guess I'll base it off the one in her chibi. Hold on. Yeah. No ads, no ads. Old Spice. Okay. Do I always draw her in this pose? I kind of do, right? Like every time I draw her, it's always just her standing there with the lantern. I should branch out a little. Like this way. Like this. This. Kind of liked the square lantern too, though. Hmm. Well, hold on. Let's see. Shouldn't get too thin at the top. Hi, lovely art. Am I? Oh no, they got banished. Okay. What was the last one? Um, hold on. Let me go back really quick. Wow. While they're tell me my okay. Let's see. Valentine by Matt Maltese. Hello, my funny. I'm not good at using Twitch. No. Send. Okay, there we go. Feisty reminds me of Pirates of the Caribbean. Of the Caribbean? Caribbean? Caribbean. Caribbean? Curry bean. Curry bean. The Doragon. Do it this way. I don't know if I like this lantern shape actually. I kind of like the square one. Maybe. Maybe. I think even though it's a small detail, I feel like this pushes the composition to be a little pear shaped. I don't know. Let's see. Do I like this better? It's a little silly though. I think the wider square shape works better because a lot of the drawing so far is pretty cluttered. Like there's a lot of small details. So when it's rectangle, it kind of gives your eyes like a place to look at that's not too messy. Someone mentioned that you can kind of think of it as rhythm. Just like in music, but for art where there's rhythm in shapes, but there's also rhythm in uh like how should I say, like loudness and quietness on the canvas. It's like how if you have a song but there's no silence in the song, then it can be really overwhelming, right? There have to be pauses and breaks and more quiet parts and louder parts for it to be a more interesting piece of music. So in the same way, oh my god, wait, I drew a tiny Jason here. In the same way, you kind of have to have spots that are more cluttered and less cluttered. The same way you need silences in songs. I think that was a good way to put it. I'm stealing it from someone else though. I didn't come up with that. Someone said it to me and I was like, that makes so much sense. Sweet in your summer. What is Emu, every week I say I'll install your extension and then I don't do it. And then every week I have to deal with ads. I promise I do want to install it. I just keep forgetting. Uh, Literally every week, Emma was like, Fi, I've got the perfect extension for you. And I'm like, oh my god, thank you so much, Amu. And then I go to do my like tasks that I have to do after stream. And then I go and get some food. And then by the time I come back, I've completely forgotten. Yeah, I have Goldfish installed. Exactly, exactly. Mm, let's see. I think. Interesting. I think changing the shape of this cape actually made it so she gets kind of lost in the silhouette of the crow or the magpie. Too much stuff in this drawing. I don't even know what this is, by the way. Like, I sketched this and I don't know what this is. It's something. Something flying, something a little messy. But I don't know exactly what. I think this should be her shoulder. Kind of. Kind of. I feel like the fun of rendering is figuring out the details, but sometimes it's also the most painful part of rendering. And it switches between the two every day. Oh, Polyphia, yes, Polyphia! This is a really awesome cover of Playing God. It's played on a gujang, the instrument that looks like this. It has the pegs and then it has all the strings across. There's like a Japanese version and a Chinese version. Yeah, that one, that one. Sorry. I don't know how to pronounce it properly. But yeah, really, really awesome cover. And the musician who's playing it in the video also looks so cool when she plays it. I'm a really big fan. I feel like with Polyphia, it's so hard to cover the song and like live up to it, right? Because Polyphia, it just already sounds so good. Oh my god, these ads, dude. Okay. But I feel like she did a really good job of getting the original vibe down and playing it on a different instrument just added that little spark of like novelty that made me fall in love with the song all over again. Because I still love the original, but I think after hearing it so many times, I'm kind of like, like it's good, but I don't feel super like wow when I hear it anymore, just because I'm used to it. But but now Now I'm like, oh, I get to experience it again with a different feeling. And also, thank you for the follow. I don't want to render. Rendering so hard. Sorry, I was trying to sound it out phonetically. I think it's Guizheng. Gui. Hold on. See, the funny thing is, I actually speak Mandarin, but I just have never said this instrument before. But yeah, it's super nice, super nice. Hold on. Chinese plucked zither. See, pronunciation. Okay, Google Translate, read it to me. Hold on. Turn up my volume. Oh my god. Hold on. What the hell is this? Oh my god, okay. I don't need this. Hold on. Do you guys hear Julian's pronunciation guide for a few seconds? Hold on. Translate. Let me just type it into translate so I can just read it. Ooh. Yeah. Hold on, read it to me. My device's volume is off. No, it's not. Okay, it's Guzheng. There we go. I got it. I got it. We got it, guys. If I say it without pronouncing it properly, I guess I can say it's a Guzheng. We tried, we tried. Storyteller instead of pronunciation guide. No, for real. That video had a whole intro. Like, you know how YouTube videos can have chapters? It literally had the intro, pronunciation guide intro, and then the pronunciation guide. It was like 3 minutes long for a 2-syllable word. Crazy, crazy. Keynote 30-second intro, exactly. Very silly, very silly. But you know what? Honestly, if that's what gets him his views, then you know what? I won't stop him. Not that I could or that I would, but I won't. Okay, okay. Let's see. Let me just try and fix this lantern. I think that would be good. Oh, I should also say the 1 day convention that I'm gonna be at this Saturday. Sorry, slight topic jump. But if anyone is in the New York City area, I will be at Annie Tomo in Industry City on Saturday. If you stop by, I do have these chibis as stickers. Yay! No ads, no. Gasp, I love your PNG. Thank you, thank you. I really like how it looks too. I made it spontaneously, but I think it turned out really well. Yo, Snoop. Hello, Snoop. How have you been? How have you been? I reckon I could walk there from Australia. Maybe if you can walk super fast and if you can travel across water, then you could make it. Dude, the stream is looking sick. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we made some stream upgrades recently. We've got eyeballs now. We've got a PNG tuber. Finally got a chat box. Sports mode's Crocs should do the trick. True, true, true. You'll be able to make it here with time to spare if you have your Crocs in sports mode. Okay, let's see. think I don't want to overshade the lantern because it should be very bright. Gacha wheel when? Gacha wheel. Stream gacha wheel. Let's see. What would I put on the stream gacha wheel? Hold on. Let me just put these here. Oh, it looks bad. Hold on. I'll redo it later. A gacha wheel. We could do. Fi actually works on the VTuber. Fi works on a drawing. Fi stops drawing. Everybody gets Jason upgrade. Me on the way to this con so I can buy this stuff. No. It's okay. This con's very small and it's only one day, so you're not missing much, I think. Well, not to say that the con will be bad, but I think like you won't miss out on too much, so don't worry. Is your Sona a plague / witch doctor or confessor? Confessioner? Confessor? Confessioner? Confessioner. Technically she's based on a plague doctor. I'd say lore wise, I don't really know. I've kind of redone the story so many times and then stopped focusing on it that now I have no idea what's going on. But I'm sure my OCs will figure themselves out eventually. If I can give gold to the eyeballs using gacha wheel. Ah. Wait, is there a command for it? Gacha wheel? Design really nice. Thank you. Thank you. Secretly is the pigeon. Yes, exactly. I think in my head, like I do use okay, this OC's name is Sara, right? Sara. I do use her to represent me online now. But in my head, Sara was and I think will always be like a little separate from me. I think I see her as her own person. So in my head, I am the pigeon. The pigeon. She has plague doc mask, maybe multi-job. Yeah, maybe multi-job. I know Framing was saying that since she's always carrying this lantern around, she could be someone who like wards off bad spirits, or since we talked about how I used to have a version of the story where there was an agency called the why did I call it this? Metaphysical Investigation Agency, where they investigate like ghosts and paranormal occurrences and stuff. It would make sense if she kind of like warded off ghosts and stuff. But the lantern is just an aura farm. No, exactly. I mean, this whole outfit was technically just an aura farm because originally this was just a one-off outfit designed for Halloween, but then it was too peak, so so I kept it, and it's canon now. Slay, exactly. I want all my OCs to slay all the time. Okay, let's see. Oh, I gotta draw wings. Sorta. I don't want to draw wings. Wings are hard to draw. Or at least to render. I don't really know how to render wings. See, I know there are some artists who just render on one layer and they never check the sketch. Or it's more like they check it like every like 6 hours. And I don't know, maybe I'm just skill issued, but I can't imagine only checking it every once in a while. Because with rendering, at least with my very, very messy workflow, I feel like it's really hard to tell if you like how it's going without looking at where you came from. So I have to do this like all the time. I'm like, okay, it looks like this, and now it looks like this. And then I feel like, but do I like it like this? And if I don't like it, then I have to fix the parts that I don't like. But if I was just staring at this progress for like 6 hours, I would feel like it still looks the same as this. But obviously I know it's different because I can turn the layer on and off. But some people are just built different. The best selling something something VoriClothing.com. This is not an advertisement, don't go there. Let's see. This was gonna be those two strings that she has. I got into the habit of making duplicates when I make changes, but usually I draw on a single layer because I'm traditional art smooth braid. No, no, for real, for real. I also make a lot of duplicates. Like this draft. Oh my god. Hello. This one. There you go. See, this is exactly the same as this layer, which I'm turning on and off, but you can't see because it's the same. And I duplicated it for no reason. This was the original draft, but I'm technically just working on one layer. Uh, I think for this one, realistically, I should have kept the foreground and the background separate because it'll be a little painful to deal with later. But it's too late now, so I'm just gonna cope. Oh, you sculpt draft. Ah, is that what it's called? I've never heard of it like that before. How long are you going to bless us with your stream today? It's gonna be the usual 3 hours. Um, so we will end at 4 p.m. my time, which is in 1.5 hours, unfortunately. I wanted to go longer, but I couldn't start any earlier, and I rescheduled stream today because I have to be somewhere, which is very annoying. Because even though even though public transport is pretty good here, it's still kind of strange because I have to commute for like an hour to get anywhere. Um, if I have to be somewhere, I have to dedicate 2 more hours of my day to just sitting on a subway. If it was a virtual meeting, then life would be good. But unfortunately, I have to be there. If it was virtual, I would just keep streaming. Or maybe not, but I would want to. It's like make drawing, make new layer for easier changes, want to paint and erase on both layers, duplicate and merge, make a new layer for another easier change, repeat ad infinity. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Especially if I'm changing a part that I'm not so sure about. Like, for example, like, let me find a spot. Um, okay, well, whatever. Like, let's say I need to draw like the thingies that cross the lantern. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I can get this stroke right the first time. Or like, what if I draw it at the wrong angle and then I want to tilt it, right? If I want to do that. And I'm like, okay, I'll put on a new layer. And then once I get it right, I'm like, okay, but now I have this random layer. Let me just merge it down. And then they all get stuck together and then like you said, repeat into infinity. That public transport delay is so relatable. See, the worst part is that's when it's not even delayed. Like when it's not delayed, it still takes me at least 40 minutes to get anywhere, depending on how far I'm going, right? Either 40 minutes to an hour is usually how long it takes me. But then if it gets delayed, it's like your life might as well be over. If your boss is like, why haven't you shown up yet? It's like, sorry, the subway's late. And they're like, what do you mean the subway's late? And then you look at the notice board And like the other day, hold on, I took a photo of it. I'm gonna read the photo. There are these digital like message boards inside the stations that show you the status of the trains, of course, right? And hold on, where is it? The other day it said, so the train that I take, we'll just call it the train, right? I pull up to the station, I look at the board, it says the next train is in 33 minutes. I'm like, okay, well, I will definitely be late for work. But also, why is it 33 minutes? And I look down at where the messages are. It says happening now. Part suspended. There's no train service between this station and that station while emergency teams respond to someone who is struck by a train. And then a different one says something something water main break. And then something something train brake activated. And then there's also boarding changes. And then it says 3 more notifications. So basically it was super doomed that day. Every disaster in the world decided to happen at the same time. Are we on a song or an ad? What's happening? Oh, this is a Crunchyroll ad, sorry. And then the worst part is sometimes you're sitting in this train. It's like 92 degrees Fahrenheit. Sorry, I'm American. I don't know the Celsius. Um the you're like it's like 92 in the train, you're boiling alive. It's really stinky. Everyone's sitting really close to each other or standing really close to each other. And then your train suddenly stops in the middle of a dark, dark tunnel with no lights, no internet service, and you're in one of the older train car models. So when it stops, all the lights turn off. And then you hear the announcer on the awful little mic on the awful little intercom that you can barely understand go, we will be moving shortly. There's train traffic ahead. And you're like, how the hell can trains have traffic? It doesn't make sense. Like you're all on a track. You're all supposed to move at the same time. How is there traffic? Right? But unfortunately it happens almost every time. And then either that or the conductor is spamming whatever button it is that they hit to play the little announcement that goes, please stand clear. What is it? Stand clear of the closing doors, please. Right? That one. And then the train goes bing bong and then, and then the doors close. They're like spamming that announcement like 5 times because some random dude is holding the doors open. And then eventually they get pissed and then they turn on their mic and they're like, yo, get out of the door. You're in or you're out. Stop holding everyone up. That also happens all the time. And once you hear about all these problems, wait till you hear that they want to raise the price of the ticket fare again in like a couple months. Isn't that crazy? They're like, the reason why all these problems occur is because we don't have money. And then every single person ever is like, yes, you do. We pay you 290 per trip. That's crazy. 290 for public transport. That doesn't even work well. Anyways, at least my general travel is all bus. The worst case scenario, you can just leave and get picked up by the next one. That's true. That's true. Unless your bus gets stuck in traffic, and then it's 30 minutes until your next bus. Yay! For real, they raised the prices for bus too and took away the shorter ticket. I'm malding. Sorry. No, no. Please feel free to mald. It's so annoying. It's so annoying. Like, I know that their logic is like, oh, if we had more money, then we can implement the logistical changes better. But the problem is that they've proved time and time again that they will raise the prices and then still not fix it. So then no one wants to pay them anymore. Okay, hold on. Lock it back in. Time to keep drawing. Let me see. Thinking about the angle of the shadow from the horn. The light's coming from here. From here. It's going that way. Okay. Maybe like this. Attorney in law, something something, free consultation. Why is this unskippable? Let me out of here. Oh my god. Whoa, you're the Geico Gecko. Okay. People all complain about the scooters dashing around on pedestrian paths and clogging up sidewalks, but every time I need to hop a few blocks when I'm in the city, it's like the bus will take 30 minutes round trip. Yeah, I know it takes so long. If you're not taking the bus, then and it costs as much as renting a scooter. Yeah, yeah. It's like they're like, here's this problem that you can't fix unless you make the problem worse, right? And then everyone's like, why would you make the problem worse? And it's like, we don't have a choice. Don't have a choice. Okay, let's see. I want to fix the silhouette of the skirt. I think in her design, the skirt's a little more, how should I say it, like sleek. But right now it's a little poofy. Anyway, public transportation rant. I think I will always be thankful for the subway, but you can be thankful and frustrated at the same time. But hey, at least it's an actual option. I'd rather have that than be in an LA situation or something where it's car all the time. Yeah, no, true, very true. I was when I was in college, I was in Rochester, New York, and there's certainly not traffic there because there aren't many people there compared to New York City, but boy, the public transport was one bus line that doesn't go in a loop. Or like it only goes in a loop. So you have to wait for it to go the whole circle before it comes back to the stop you need. And if you didn't have a car, you were screwed because everything is literal highways apart. But there's a certain charm about it, I suppose. Let me see. There are multiple buses. There are not multiple buses on the same line. There were, but it's like how should I explain? Hold on, I'll draw a little doodle. Let's go back here. Okay. It's like, okay, if this was your city center, right? Like let's say here's all your tall buildings, city, right? This is your city. Let's say there's like Mall 1 over here. It's one of those like silly looking malls where it's just one building in the middle of nowhere surrounded by a giant, giant parking lot. And right, like over here. And then let's say you have like Mall 2 over here, right? And then you have, I don't know why I'm drawing stuff like this, but anyway, this is Mall 2. And then you have, I don't know, random building number 3. Yeah, okay, right. The bus lines were like they don't go like this, right? Like this would be awesome if the bus line just went from here to here to here to here, and then there was one bus going this way and one bus going that way. That would be perfect. It would work fine. But the problem was that the buses go like this. So there's like multiple bus lines, but they all go like that. And and there were like two buses on the line and they only go in this direction. So if there were like multiple stops along the way, if you wanted to go from this stop, this one to this one, instead of just taking a bus like one stop this way, it was like this way. And then if you wanted to go from Mall 1 to Mall 2, for example, instead of being able to just like take one bus like here, you had to first take it into the city center and then take it back out of the city center. Which was not awesome. And the problem is like you'd be like, okay, well maybe I'll just bike or maybe I'll just walk or whatever. But the highway, it's just a highway. Like if I could describe the scenery around this mall, like how do I draw this? Okay, this is your mall. Here's your giant parking lot, right? This is theoretically the side of the road, but the problem is that there's just like a car entrance here, and then this is just a highway. Like it's just a highway. There's no pedestrian roads, there's no sidewalks. It just big car roads in all directions. And then maybe there's like some lights out here. But the distance is also like nothing. It's just more highways in the distance. Eh. So that's how it was upstate. So you definitely need to have a car in that kind of place. You don't have crossways or like tunnels below the street. In New York City, we have like the subway stops are kind of like tunnels below the street because some of them you can cross under the street by going into the station. We have some crossways, but usually it's just above the street. Um, but in the city I was just talking about, Rochester, which is upstate in New York. There's like it's not very walkable. Like the city itself, I'd say the city center, like downtown Rochester, more or less. Um, there's like not enough cars or people in general to need crossways or tunnels, I would say. And then the rest of the area is just cars. There's like not enough buildings to really justify walking anyways. Cuz like the other thing is the areas with shopping malls, like this kind of place, it's like if I looked at it from above, there's like one building here. There's like it's like a really flat building, but it's like this shape and it's kind of funny looking. This is the highway. And then this is like the parking lot here. And then you have like a whole stretch of just like nothing. It might be like gravel or grass or something. And then over here there's like another building. But it's so far. Like a person might be like this big or smaller than that. It's like this big. So it's super far away. Nothing to do in between. Just more cars, more highways, more parking lots. But it's okay. Charming, ultra soft. I do not need a toilet paper ad. Architecture and interior design. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, moving on. What? Hello, Rudy. It's like you can have a store a mile away, but it's all either gated or just absolutely not designed to let you walk there. So you need to take a car for 15 minutes to get out of your suburb onto the road, then back onto the mall. Exactly, exactly. There was one time though, because I was in college when I was in that city. Um, my roommates and I, we really needed to get our groceries, but we accidentally got off one stop early, and if we wanted to get back on the bus to go to the next stop, then which was like a 10-minute walk, if we were to walk along the highway, like we would have to wait like 35 minutes for the next bus. And so we were like, it can't be that bad, right? And then so we ended up like basically playing Crossy Road um to get to the other side of the highway, which was not a super awesome idea, but like it wasn't like active car passing. It was technically a crosswalk. It's just like it's not a very efficient crosswalk. But building one, which is where we were, was like here, and then this was the highway, and then if you continue down the highway, hold on, if you continue, okay, like this. Ugh, wait, okay, hold on. Building one was like here, and then if you walked all the way down the highway, building two, where we needed to be for groceries, was like here. So we were like, okay, we'll just cross the really awful little crosswalk, and then walk along like the grass bank all the way over there. But it's not walkable. There were a lot of geese which were pooping everywhere. You know, worst things in life, worst things in life. Just yapping about random stuff. If only the buses ran more often. So, to be honest, I also think it was fine because the pace of living, speed of living, the rhythm there is also a lot more laid back. I think here everyone's like constantly fighting for their life. So it feels like everything has to be happening as fast as possible, as soon as possible, like as efficiently as possible, or like I don't know, maybe like time will catch up to you or something like that. That's kind of the vibe. Everyone's hustling all the time. So here it's like if the bus doesn't run every 5 minutes, then we're doomed. But over there, it's low key fine for the bus to be every 30 minutes. I don't know. I think it's just a matter of perspective. Okay, let's fix up his hand because I want it to look good. I think it should be. It should turn towards the camera a little more. Like this way. This finger is also really long. Let me see. How would I hold this? Lantern? Do I have a stick? There's a pen. A pen? And look at my hand for self-ref. If I held the lantern, do I hold it this way or this way? This way? You know what? You know it's okay. Good enough. But I think this would be dark because technically this plane is facing upwards and the lantern is down there. So then this way. Like that. There you go. Now it looks a little less flat. By the way, I really recommend if you have trouble figuring out which way stuff faces, try sculpting or do some sort of 3D craft. I would say I'm definitely far from being a pro at it, but it definitely helped me be able to figure it out a little faster. I didn't do sculpting though. I did a different 3D craft. And it's unfortunately part of my dark past, so I will not talk about exactly what it is. I'm kind of curious about how if I hold the pen for the reference that I was just referencing, or like when I draw normally. Man, I want food, but I don't want to cook. Hmm. Could you order food? Or do you have something easy to make? Something you can just make by throwing it in the microwave, or maybe just boiling a few things. Something easy, something easy. Like how you draw normally. I think I have a pretty standard pen grip. Actually, I think it's a lot like how my PNG tuber is holding it, actually. Though sometimes I've mostly fixed the habit now, but I used to tuck my thumb in really far when I drew, and it would kind of hurt my wrist. I kind of fixed it now. Like, hold on, let me draw my hand while I draw. Right. If this is the pen. Yeah. Oh no. Okay, this is the pen. Right. What the hell? Okay. Let me see. My finger is like here. So this is hard because every time I move my hand, I have to redraw it. Here you go. Here's my thingy. Wait, hold on. Oh, all the angles are messed up. Okay, like this way, this way. Okay, my hand, my thingy, my the rest of my finger, and then my thumb is like here, and that's it. I think just standard grip. Oh, hold on. This is really hard for some reason. Okay, just pretend I drew a good hand. Okay, you get the vibe. You get the vibe. My other fingers are like back there. Yeah, it's a lot like how Sarah PNG's holding it. But I used to have the habit of tucking my thumb in really far, and that really stresses out this tendon, the one that runs like here into your wrist. So I had to break the habit. Luckily, it's a good thing. But I used to like tuck my thumb in like all the way, which was really bad. I have too many wrist problems for this. Let's see. That's a knife. It is a knife. If you squeeze the pen too much, it will hurt your middle finger. Ah, I guess so. I guess so. I have a bump on my middle finger though from holding the pen, so I think I'm protected. My finger bump. I don't squeeze it too much. I think I hold it pretty loose. Most of the time, I think. Let's see. When I'm just sketching casually, I think my thumb is pretty loose here, and then the pen's like here. Oh my god, this looks weird. Hold on. This is really hard to draw my hand while drawing. Okay. But like if I hold the pen like this way, what the hell? Hold on. Ah, I'm only good at drawing my own hands when I'm not actively using them. But I think this thumb is pretty loose usually. Like I can pivot this whole part like up and down. This doesn't make any sense. Hold on. Wait. If I do it like this, okay, here's my thumb. Right. Here's like the rest of my hand. Oh my god, what am I drawing? Like just bear with it, okay? Bear with it. If the pen is here, I can like move this part like this way. Like pretty easily. Does that make sense? When I sketch. Like my thumb doesn't really move because it's mostly just there to hold it in place, but I don't really squeeze. So very loose, and then mostly move the pen with the rest of my fingers. And then just in case my pointer finger gets tired, I just I just lift up my pointer finger so that it's not in use like this. And then I hold it with my other fingers instead. So sometimes I also draw with the pen between my middle and ring finger. Anyways, I think it's pretty normal, probably. The way Emu hold the pen is exactly how you pick up the sushi piece. Ah, I see, I see. It's my new skill. Previously, Emu hold the pen just like five, but Emu squeeze the pen pretty hard after a long session. Ah, I see, I see. Sometimes if I'm sketching in my sketchbook, I'll hold it um, like if this is the pencil. Oh my god. Sorry, can't draw straight lines today. But like with my finger like this way, and then like thumb here, like this, kind of. Does that make sense? Does this look like anything? like this way, and then I'll move it like that. So it's kind of like I have my knuckles on the paper, not on the paper, but facing the paper. But it's hard to hold the pen this way digitally because you have to tilt the stylus pretty far. Like if this is the paper, when you hold the pen like this, the pen is at like this angle, like this way. Yeah, like that. When you hold it like this, Paris baguette, stop. But holding it like this, the stylus digitally sometimes stops working if you hold it too sideways. But it's fun to sketch like that sometimes. Or for some reason, if I'm really feeling like I want to hold it differently, I'll also hold it so that my thumb is like here, and then my fingers are up here. Ooh, like this way. This one's a little crazy. I don't draw like this a lot, but I do it sometimes. This is can you tell what this is? It doesn't really look like a hand, but sometimes I draw like that. My hand is basically like upside down. Monkey Slayer Forever, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you. What? Hello, Genie Problem. Honestly, I think sometimes it's a good thing to have multiple grips that you draw with, especially if you draw for very long sessions or you draw a lot in one day. Like, let's say you're working on multiple drawings and you need to finish all of them today, so you have to sit there for like 13 hours or something. Maybe not 13, that's a lot. You should definitely take more breaks if you're drawing for 13 hours. But just in case, I think switching up your grip sometimes halfway through gives you the chance to use like different parts of your hand, so you won't get tired quite as fast. Okay, let's see. What is she doing with this hand? Honestly, I think part of the reason why I draw so loosely or so messily is also just because my hand can't really handle drawing really cleanly. I noticed that when I'm doing cleaner art or just more like how should I say? Like more like anime art instead of more painted art, my stamina is way lower. Like the time between starting the drawing and then my hand getting tired is only like 3 hours if I'm drawing really cleanly, versus if I'm drawing more painted or messy stuff, I can draw for many more hours. So I think just for the sake of my hand, I'm also kind of doomed to always draw a little messier. Get that to my line work is ugly. Emu tried to improve it lately. I don't think your line work is ugly. I mean, I think we might have different standards, but I feel like there's there's like a certain charm to line art that is looser. I think there's some line art that's very like tight, very like the standard kind of line art you think of when you think of anime art. But I also think it like kind of loses its personality often if it all looks the same. Ah, I really like this song right now. Nosu, such a good vocalist. Sorry, I'm slowing down a little. One, because I'm yapping, but two, because I kind of want to think more carefully about how I want to proceed. 最低な人ね。What pose do I want this hand to be in? I didn't really sketch it, so I don't really know what my intent was. You're seeing my recent liner. I practiced a lot. I used to be a mess 2 months ago. But see, that's only 2 months of progress and you already got so good. That means you're gonna be super powerful. In like a year, it's gonna be insane. Oh, Psychotic Smiley, thank you for the follow. Oh, so many new friends today. I usually stream with all the number tracking thingies off because otherwise I get scared. but but hello everyone who's new. Do I like these changes? I don't know if I do. Actually, the far arm looks kind of awkward. Oh, I'm digging the light and shadow, a really neat pose and character design. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I'm hoping it turns out well because I really like the overall vibe of the piece. So I hope I can carry it all the way through to the end. Work days. No. What pose should this be? I do um I could do where the where these fingers are coming up more. Like this way. Hold on, sorry, trust the process. It will be a hand, don't worry. But it might take me a moment. Um do it this way. It just kind of like I think it's fine as a pose, but it also doesn't make sense why she's making that hand pose. At the same time, she's kind of just doing whatever anyways. Maybe if I honestly, even though I've been struggling with the last few 1 hour challenges, I think if anything, the whole the whole let's see, it's been 18 days? 19? Is it 19 or 18 yesterday? 19. Okay, the last 19 days, I think if anything, I've kind of learned to just like let things happen, which was part of my goal with the whole challenge, but I think like oftentimes when I get like 20 minutes in, I'm like, I don't think this is gonna go well for the last 40 minutes, right? I'm like, maybe this was too ambitious for 1 hour. Oh, recalibrate. Okay, stretch, stretch, stretch. Yeah. Okay. But when I get like 20 minutes through, I'm like, I don't know if I can make this look like the pose or stuff like that. Um, but since I'm on a time limit, I can't really just keep starting over. So I think I have gotten a little better at just trusting it and then keep like continuing to work towards it and just keep making good decisions about what to draw, what lines to add, what shapes to define and stuff like that until it looks right. Whereas before, I think if it wasn't turning out well like the first time I tried to get one form to be right or stuff like that, I would kind of just give up right away or be like, this is not gonna go well, and then I'd get all sad. And now I still get a little frustrated, but it feels less bad because I have to do it every day. Like I don't have a choice. I just have to let it be, which is really good, I think. So I think the other thing about digital art is like compared to traditional mediums, this is the place where you can afford to try things and like mess things up and then like go back later because we have the ability to save multiple versions, of course. Oh, I don't like that. That got too bright. Like the pose isn't reading super well. Hold on. What was I saying before? I forgot. Anyways, moving on. Looks like an after you pose digging that. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think it does look like that. That's true. Mm, I don't want it to be super overblown with the glow, but I do think it should be a little bit more separated. A little bit. Tiny bit. And maybe darken this part this way. I sounds like a cat for a second. We have an imposter here. No, no, I'm a pigeon. I promise. I promise. Should I have reversed it? Hold on. I reverse gradient. Okay, and then reverse gradient. Does that read better? Kinda. 24-hour go away. Okay. I sounds like Kato when you do that stretch. Yeah. Okay, I think cats are the best at stretching anyways. And maybe I'll be a cat only when I stretch, and then I'll go back to being a pigeon at every other hour. No, I really want a cat. Or I mean I want a lot of creatures. I like cats, but I'm like mildly allergic to them. So if I'm near a cat or if I touch a cat, I have to make sure I don't touch my face. Cuz it's fine if I'm in the same room as them and everything. It's okay if I touch them too. But if I touch them and then I don't wash my hands and then I touch my face or near my face, then I start getting like stuffy nose and a little bit itchy and my eyes are itchy. It's very sad. I can't hug any cats. If I hug them, then it's too close to my face. But I do really like cats. Let's see, something is not reading super well right now. Let's see. I think this part. Hold on, we're gonna do a mini critique halfway through so I can organize my thoughts. This arm, the the value of this highlight, this color, I think is too similar to the background. It doesn't stand out enough. So when you look at the pose, it doesn't read that the hand is coming forward. It's kind of just missing. Like the pose looks more like this, which is like this is not what I want. I need to I need to push this part needs to get pushed into the background. And then this part needs to be added to this silhouette if I want it to look better. And then this is also kind of awkward, but we can live with that part. And then technically the wing, I think I should try and separate the distance between the wing and the eyeball a little more as well. Hmm, let's see. Let me look at the draft again. Mm-mm. Also, this highlight shape is not awesome. Make it darker. Hold on, let me try some stuff. Okay, if I I think see this part should be darker like this. I think at least add it to the shape of the form of the pose. But I think I need to separate the hand from the torso. Just well, maybe a little bit brighter is okay for this drawing. Like selectively so. Um, I think some parts should be brighter. Well, hydrate. Okay, drink water, everyone. Water, tea, whatever you've got next to you. Woohoo, woohoo. Okay, hydrated. One in 12, something, 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 something. Let's see. I remember when I first worked on this sketch, something that I had trouble with was separating the foreground and the background a little better. So I think right now it's kind of all mushed together, which is not great. But that is something that can be fixed. So let's try fixing it. know if I like this layer actually. Let's see. I think part of the problem is because I don't have a clear idea of like how far away this bird thing should be. Like I can't tell if I want it to be really, really far or if it should be kind of close. Because in the sketch, you can kind of see that I drew the shadow of Sarah here, right? This is her shadow shape reflecting on the bird or casting onto the bird, but that implies that the bird is pretty close. If she's able to cast a shadow like that. Because that's like the distance it would be if she was like leaning against a wall, right? So I don't know if I want it to be that close because it's also a big bird already. But if I draw it in the background, then it's an even bigger bird, and that's a really, really big bird. I also think this can have a highlight on the edge, but I think the inside should still be dark. Maybe it kind of looks messy that way. See, is there a color range tool in CSP file you can separate it using color relation? If all the things from the right is the sky, it can just be blue. That's true, that's true. I could just do it with colors. But mm, I think the pieces that I tend to be proud of when I finish them are really strong even in black and white. So I want it to be a little more clear before I move to color. I think it'll also make the color process a little easier for me because color is my weak point. So hard. Because I think in some ways, at least for me, or the way that my brain likes to think, I think it's easier to have super strong values and then use color to enhance it as opposed to values and then like fix it with color. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. um, I guess the other method would be if I made what would it be highlighted by though? Um, quite a curious question. Why did we stop the playlist again? Go back. One. It's like trio relationship between value, color, and contrast. Yeah, 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 yeah. So I would still recommend having 1 to 2 big color. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'll add it. Don't worry, don't worry. We can do quick color draft just to give it a try. How do I usually do this? It's been a while since I've rendered a piece with this workflow. Come on, trust the process. Shadow. I'm using the color balance tool. I'm not sure if it's visible on stream. I don't think it is. Whoops. Too dark. don't remember how I usually do this. Hold on, I don't think this is how I usually do this. Color is very much my weak point. I have such a hard time with it. I think part of it's also because I tend to prefer coloring with monotone since I think a lot of pieces that make use of like grays and color relativity look really cool. So I keep trying to do it, but I lack some of the color theory knowledge that I need to make it work. Okay, well, hold on. Let's just start with what I know has to be bright. This needs to glow. Mm. I make it. Let me think. Maybe something. Should I do something purpley? This way, this way. Maybe. Hmm. Then let's do. Oh, the selection tool. I can't even see what I'm doing. No, whoa, not that one. I think it's too reddish. Mm, like this. And then I think the bird is also too blue right now. Because it should be if let me see. If the bird oh my god, ads. Hold on, let me finish selecting this. If the bird is far away from the lantern and I want most of the blue to come from the lantern, then the bird should not be so blue. New Dawn powered something. Traps 99% of grease. Maybe slightly purple. Maybe make it, or should I make it really blue? Mm-mm. Verb looks like Aki Kong Kon summoned in Chainsaw Man. That's true, that's true. Maybe this should be Sara's power. Since she doesn't have one, she just summons a really big bird. I wonder what the bird's like purpose would be though. Maybe maybe it's here to eat people, or is it here to guide people, or maybe transportation? What if it's Fly the Butterfly? It's me, it's me. I don't think I want to do this part. Okay. Overlay is such a good layer mode. You can do so much with it. Change colors, change values. Life is good with overlay mode. It's still mostly monochromatic, but um, I might add a little bit of color from the light. Oh, wait, there's Wing Jason. Do you see him? He's back here. I guess I drew all of them. I just didn't realize. One, two, three. Mm. Yeah, you can see it on the screen, I think, but I was using. There's a tonal correction option called hue, saturation, lumosity. I was just selecting areas I wanted to change and then um, editing the sliders till I liked it. Oh my god. Depression symptoms. Ayo. I don't need that right now. All the gang is there. Exactly, exactly. Maybe slightly more red on her face. She's looking a little lifeless and bloodless right now. That's the fun part when you realize the artist inside you do the thing and you just realize it. Yes, yes. Here, let me see. Let me add their eyeballs to I think this one here and here. What is this though? I don't know what this line is. This big stick. I kind of don't like that he's here actually. It kind of like I think this spot I want it to be mostly empty so your eyes can rest a little, but when he's there, he's like a little distracting. Broken sun, broken sun. Sorry, coming along nice. Thank you, thank you. Okay, let's hit it with some color balance. Highlight. Be this way. Like a slightly yellowy drawing. Perhaps. Not too much. Maybe this way. Mm, I'm not sure. It could be interesting. Need more saturation. No, not that much. I think I'll add the saturation a little later. Hold on. Whoop. Okay, adjust. Contrast is a little high. Mm, mm, mm. I like the slightly darker vibe. But then I'm gonna hold on, trust. I'm lowering the contrast but increasing the brightness. I want to push the background details away a little more. They're too much right now. Mm, too much. That was too much. A little bit only. Come on. Mm, 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 mm. This part. I think it actually benefits from being a little bit darker just because her her shape is being defined by the highlights right now, and if the background's too bright, then the highlights stop being highlights and they just start blending into everything else. But but we'll see. Star coming along, nice. Goddamn nice colors, bro. Thank you. See. Mm, her face is a little not bright, but a little washed out, I think. It could be more what do you call it? Like more contrasty, but not too much either, because I don't want it to be so contrasty. Let me try though. Let me try. Contrast slider. A little bit darker. Okay, and then I get rid of it on everything else. Um, just the parts that I want. Which are these areas? But not in the eyes. The eyes were fine before. Let's see. Such a small change, but I'm being very anal about it for no reason. Um, it was too pale before. I don't know. I don't know. Mm. It's hard. I'm running out of ideas. Are you a bird, perchance? I may be. I just may be. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, it might. You know what? It's about time, anyways. I think I should let it sit for a bit, so I can think about it, and then rest my eyes, and then I come back to it, and hopefully I can make better decisions about the drawing. Does Fi use any soft brush? Not really. No, I think most of my brushes have hard edges. I do use some of them on lower opacity for a little bit of blending, but I rarely use any actual soft brushes. Sometimes I do in post processing if I'm adding gradients or like glow or dust, I might use a little bit, but I prefer using the hard edge brush. Like oh, whoops. Let me make a layer. Like this, it has opacity on it, but the edges are hard. Or if I want to do glow, I think I prefer when there's a little more texture or like organic qualities to it. So instead of airbrush, I might just do it this way. Or at least that's what I started doing during the 1 hour drawings. So so I've stuck to it so far. Oops. Wrong one. Wait, no. Maybe cut some soft gradient shape to have more sharp but have depth. But agree, let's rest a bit. Since everything is hard, we'll lack of soft contrast. That's true, that's true. I think I want this edge to be more defined by a little bit. This way. This way she stands out a little better. I would say only recently I started using the blend tool a little bit uh on like certain edges. I don't use it super often. To be honest, I think soft edges are hard to control. I think everyone says like draw with round brush only, and there is definitely a challenge to only drawing with hard brushes, but it's easier, in my opinion, to control hard brushes than it is to control soft ones. If you draw with like all airbrush, it can look good, but I think sometimes it's also a matter of like chance because you kind of have to hope you get all the mushy stuff in the right place. It's really hard to control it. But if you start with hard brush and then add soft stuff later, I think it's a lot easier. Mm, I want the depth of the lantern to be a little more too. Mm, advertisement. Advertisement. No. I had a phase of doing studies with only airbrush, definitely learned a lot. Maybe I should do that. I've kind of realized, or I guess I realized it a long time ago, but I'm coming to terms with it now that like when I say I think something is hard, that just means I need to do it more. If I'm like, oh, I think soft brushes are harder to control than hard brushes, I should just draw more with soft brushes so I can gain the skill. Like so much of digital art is just about like You just have to stop being scared of it because this is like the most forgiving medium. You can literally go back in time by redoing your files if you mess something up. So we should all be braver, less scared when we are drawing things. Oh, Camellia leaves. Thank you for the follow. Chronomancy, exactly. We can literally change time in digital art. This should be on top of the adjust layer because I'm overpainting again. The most powerful magic now. That's black magic. Honestly, I think drawing and illustration in general is a lot like doing magic. It's honestly part of why I love Frieren so much as a series because they put so much emphasis on how like magic is also about how you perceive the world and how you want to represent those ideas. Like they don't put it in those words, but that's how I kind of interpreted it. They say like if you can't visualize it, then it can't be real. But then the way you see the world influences what kind of mage you are. Like um like how I don't know if this counts as spoilers. I feel like Frieren's been out long enough that I could talk about it. But um when Flamme and Serie are talking about Frieren, they're like Frieren will be the one to defeat the Demon King because she's the only one who can imagine her life in like a peaceful era, right? Like the era that they live in is not necessarily relevant to magic itself, but it's because she can envision the peaceful era that she has the ability or like the destiny to defeat the Demon King. Even though Zeria and Flamme might be better mages than her, they can only imagine life in like wartime, which is why they can't do it. So you literally just have to believe and then the life that you want will come to fruition sooner or later because that's how you see the world. So if you visualize the future, it will happen. It will happen through your actions, whether or not you want it to. But you do have to try. You have to try and use your opportunities when they come to you because it won't happen on its own, but you can try and help it along. Mm, I kind of feel like I want to add purple somewhere. So hold on. You see, maybe along the edges. It can be like a bad version of subsurface scattering, even though half of these objects are very solid and very not translucent. If luck is a spell, you still have to cast it right. Yes, yes. That's the thing about luck. Like, a lot of people say a lot of things are about being in the right place at the right time, but I think you can be in the right place and luck can stand in front of you, and if you don't reach your hand out and grab it to make use of it, it'll still pass you by, right? Like, part of being successful or getting the things you want is also knowing how to use your luck. You can be really lucky, but just really bad at using your luck, and you'll still be just as like unfortunate as the unluckiest person in the world. Obviously, you'll have more opportunities, but opportunity is not a guarantee, right? You have to take the chance when it comes to you and make the most of it. So I think luck is about unlocking doors, but you have to be the one to open the door once it's unlocked. So just like Emu said, you still have to cast the spell. Even if you know, like if you know how to cast the spell, that doesn't mean you're always lucky. You have to make sure that it's working, it's active. The spell is in effect. It's gacha based. It's true, it's true. You pull, you have 50% chance to win the banner. You don't pull, you have nothing. Exactly. Exactly. Like it might not work out, just like a lot of things. But if you don't try at all, then it's definitely not happening. Can't tell if that purple works or not. A little bit of purple. No, I don't like it in the background. The world's tiniest bit of purple. Actually, let's see. We can color adjust this layer, and then that can help decide if I want it to be purple or not. Okay, cute. Mm, red, green. And if you keep pulling, you'll eventually get it, but it might take like 300 plus tries. True. It really will probably take 300 plus tries. If you're trying to achieve something really, really big, it will take many, 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 many tries. But you have to persevere and you have to keep trying. I think part of it's also out of respect for your dreams. You have to try. Cuz the truth is a lot of people don't have dreams or ideas or ambitions, and honestly in some ways it's a simple life that way cuz you're not troubled by feeling like you haven't achieved your big idea. But I think it's also a very fortunate thing if you're someone who has a big dream. So, out of respect for your dream and the fact that you have it in the first place, you should try your best. It might not go super well at the beginning, or it might turn out really bad for a very long time. But if you're able to, I think you should always respect your dreams. It's like mutual respect, right? If you respect your dreams, eventually your dreams will also respect you. I know it sounds like I'm making it seem like dreams are a real person, but I promise there's something there. So I think even for myself, sometimes, especially in the past, with illustration, I would have a hard time taking it seriously. Like sometimes I would belittle my own hobbies, which is not respecting the dream, right? Sometimes I'd be like, oh, haha, yeah, I just draw anime, so silly, right? But like even now, I still feel like that sometimes. But unfortunately for everyone else, this is what I like doing, and I put a lot of time into it. I put a lot of effort into it. I should treat my hobbies and my passions with respect. Even if part of me feels ashamed, I think, defeat the cringe, right? Don't defeat the part of you that cringes. There's there are people who like anything in the world, there's someone who likes it, right? You can't only look for the things that are like approved by most of the population. Because I think every culture in the world, every part of the world, every person in the world needs their own little niche or subculture that's not quite so popular. That's what keeps things going, I think. Because if everyone had to enjoy the same things and have the same hobbies and only like the standard things, then we would live in a very, very boring world. So the whole point is that you should enjoy the things that you enjoy, even if most people don't enjoy them. And you should respect your passions and your dreams. I think it's very important. It's a big thing for self-confidence too. I think if you have passions but you feel like they're cringe so you don't indulge in them and you try to hide them from people, you will spend a lot of your time thinking about that. And you could be spending that time doing a lot more. And the truth is, I think most people are inspired by passionate people, right? If you're passionate about something, eventually it will catch on. It's very infectious when someone is really, really into what they do. The most important part is to be passionate and be respectful towards your passions. Sooner or later, it will pay off either externally or internally. Either people will catch on and maybe you start this awesome new trend or whatever if that's what you want, or maybe it'll just boost your own confidence and you can go about your life doing other things more confidently, more certainly, which I think is also very important. So just don't worry too much about what exactly it is that you're doing. As long as you do it wholeheartedly and very honestly, like be genuine about it. Anime is a load bearing part of the world. It's true, it's true. The real wisdom on Fi stream, you can't just look for things that are approved by everyone. Yes, yes. Because it's impossible. There's nothing that is approved by everyone. There's stuff that's approved by a vast majority of people, but the unfortunate thing is you might come to find that those people in the vast majority are not people that inspire you, right? You can try to get the approval of the whole world, everyone in the world, but like it's not possible. And if you end up spending all your time trying to impress people that don't inspire you, then you don't get anything out of it, right? I think people are the most inspired when they make things that inspire people that inspire them. Because then you have this reciprocating cycle of you inspire them, and then they're like, wow, I want to make this new thing. And then they make this really awesome thing, and you get inspired by it. And you both get a lot of energy and momentum out of it, which is the most important. I think that's a big important thing to look for when you're looking for friends and community too. Like that's not to say you can't be friends with people that don't inspire you, but from a creative standpoint, it's best to find people who can reciprocate that energy. Anyway, that was a whole lot of rambling, but basically if you want to do something, you should do it honestly and with all of your power. That's all. That's all. So it's just Cisco. Thank you for the follow. I missed it. Oh my god, it's Fi. This is me. It's me. Zara's alive. I unkilled her. Don't worry. She's alive now. No more death. She's aura farming. Back to the usual, if you will. Um, I love the advice with the dubstep in the back. We love rambles. I won't inspire you. No, no. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Fi is my favorite spiritual guru. Spiritual guru is crazy. In hip hop culture, they called it be real. Yes, yes, exactly. Be real. Be real. There are like close to zero benefits from pretending to be someone you're not and pretending to like things that you don't. There's like actually close to zero benefit. Unless it's like, oh, if you pretend to be someone else for 3 days and you get $3 bajillion, then okay, maybe there's a little bit of benefit. But from like a living creature standpoint, not from a capitalism standpoint, there's like almost no benefit. So I think just be real. Yes, yeah. Why is my spirit animal? Does that mean your spirit animal is also a pigeon? We win. More pigeons in the world. More pigeons. Oh, RS Ryuk, thank you for the follow. Wait, let's see. I think this piece, I'll just leave it here for today because I'm not making any meaningful progress. I'll just work on it more next time. But I think for next time, I do want the face to be a little warmer. I need to do some color studies, but right now it's very, very cold. She kind of looks more like a corpse than a living person. Like there's no blood in her veins with the current colors. But you know, maybe it's because she's just recovered from dying in my 1 hour challenges. It might take her a few days to finally be warm blooded again, but that's okay. Uh, okay. Yeah, 1 HP survival. No, look, guys, she improved. Her condition has improved a lot. Okay, this is what happened 2 days ago. She died. She died. But she's back now. She's back. Don't worry. She's back. Actually, I tried drawing Uma Musume, but it didn't go well. If you guys want to see the speed paint, hold on. Look, it was so suffering. Hold on. Time lapse. Ah, wait, hold on. I have to. Okay, here we go. Time. Let me look. I was like, I wanted to draw Oguri Cap from Uma Musume. She was gonna sit on a bench and enjoy the snow, but then I was like, Uma Musume is all about running. So I was like, okay, I'll draw her running. Because I wanted it to be this cool scene where she's like running forward and the snow is like billowing out behind her and like super dramatic. But then I was like, she has white hair, white clothes, the snow is white, the light is white, the floor is white. The contrast is really hard to handle. So I was like, okay, I'll do something a little different. I was like, maybe she'll build a snowman for like 2 seconds before I was like, never mind, I want her to run. And so she kept running, and then I was like, that angle's too hard. So then I was like, I'll have her running away from the camera. And then um and then I was like actually at this point, when I look at it now, I think it was going okay at this point. But for some reason I like gave up on it. I was like, it's going awful. Like I think it looks fine at this point if I just kept working on it. But I was like, I'm abandoning this one. So I just like start doing whatever. And then Sarah died. I was like, I'm tired. And then that's how it happened. She flopped. But it's okay. She lives. Life is good. Oguri Cap fits eating though. It's true. It's true. I love that she gets so excited about food, and that when she's feeling good, she does the he hoo ha. So cute. So cute. It does make for good contrast, to be fair. Me dramatically bleeding out in the snow. Like, I know it's like generic to be bleeding out in the snow because everyone draws that nowadays, but like you can't deny that the red on the snow just feels right. Don't worry, I'll draw more wholesome next time. What Raiders? Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for the raid. How do I do the shout out thing? Hold on, shout out. Nux, Aura, Nix. Yay, yay. Welcome, welcome. I'm unfortunately nearing the end of my stream, but I'm happy to yap for a few more minutes. Hope your stream went well. Ah, thank you for the follows. Thank you, thank you. Is there a TV anime series for it as well? So what are you talking about? We're talking about Uma Musume Pretty Derby, which is it's a Japanese horse girl racing game, which sounds crazy, but but it's kind of exciting, honestly. But it was recently released on Global, and there is a TV anime for it. Um, saw some incredible art and thought I'd drop by. I hope stream went well. Thank you so much. Yes, yes, it went well. Were you working on art as well? If you were working on art as well, feel free to share any links, or at least hold on if I can figure out how to make it let you share links. How do I make my bot not eat you? Hold on. Um, see. One time out. Temporary. No. No. How do I do this? Shield. No. Hold on. Permit. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, if you'd like to share anything you worked on, please feel free. Yay, there we go. Or, oh, it's 60 seconds. Okay, if it runs out, Just let me know when you're about to post it, and I'll do it again. Learning so much about streaming. So much fun, so much fun. You know, I'd like to think that now that we're using the stream avatars with all the eyeballs, maybe each of these is not necessarily one of Sarah's eyeballs, but it's one of you guys just floating around in the world. Like this one. Like who's this one? We've got a couple teal eyeballs in the thingy right now. So fun, so fun. Sarah stole my eyes. Oh no. Fi army, fi army. Are there any other colors people want to be, by the way? Because I can add more. Yeah, let's see. So, um, next week's stream will be at the same time as usual, so 2 hours later than today's stream. Today, in Eastern Standard Time, we stream from 1 to 4 p.m. Next week, we'll go back to 3 to 6 p.m. Unless people really like this time, I can also keep this time, but I think 3 to 6 is easier for some people. Um, I'm not totally sure. But we'll see, we'll see. Still alive. I do that sometimes with stream. Sometimes I'm like not totally sure if my stream ended or if it is still going after I raid. But then I'm like, if I end too early, what if it accidentally cancels the raid or something like that? Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you. UST though, EST. Or is it EDT? I don't know what the abbreviation is actually. Eastern Standard Time Zone. Time Zone. Okay, Eastern Daylight Time, I guess, is my current time zone. Because of daylight savings. So EDT right now, but it'll be EST later in the year. I'm gonna grab some food, but I hope you have a good rest of stream. Thank you, thank you. Enjoy your food. Enjoy, enjoy. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for the raid. Yes, I will be sending you all off to a different raid in just a few moments. Because I do unfortunately have to go. But welcome, welcome everyone. Thank you for stopping by. Let's look for someone and pass along the art appreciation train. Let's see. Raid channel. I got CET. Ah, okay, okay. Oh, thank you for the follow. Fi leaving forever. No, not forever. Not forever. And like a good neighbor, State Farm is, please let me skip you. Please. No. No Facebook. Don't raid Emu. I'm about to pass out. No, okay. I won't raid you, Emu, but please get some rest if you're tired. Okay, let's see. What? This one is pretty. I like this person's art. Okay, we're gonna raid. I guess their name is Bun Bun. Okay, okay. All right, everybody. We're gonna get ready to raid. Make sure to stretch. Get up and stretch if you've been sitting for a while. Drink water, get a snack, get some rest. I hope arting goes well. Okay, okay. Here we go, here we go. All right. Okay, okay. Thank you for watching, everyone. I'll see you guys soon again. Bye, 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 bye. Take care of yourselves. Woohoo, woohoo. Go, go, go. Bye, 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 bye.